We welcome you inside Jones C. Edwards Stadium, where tonight the Thundering Herd of Marshall and the Colonels of Eastern Kentucky face off in what is game two for both teams. Each enter at 1-0 following season opening victories. Guy named Green lead the Kelly Green and White to victory there in Oxford against Miami.
Yeah, Yeager Stadium, not an easy place to make your debut, but Isaiah Green looked poised and ended up coming out of that victory with some records. 37 pass attempts, the third most in a Marshall quarterback debut.
Good production out of that kicking game a week ago for the Herd.
Yeah, it was a great debut for Justin Rohrwasser, the former University of Rhode Island kicker. 6 kickoffs for a 380 total yards as it's away.
Yeah, and the return man right here. Outstanding job is Scott. And Marshall covers it well.
Well, Doc Holliday loves him some special teams, and Todd Goebel, who was the quarterback's coach last year, has taken back over the special teams unit. In 2015, when Goebel was the special teams coach, Marshall had the best special teams efficiency in the nation. Yeah, one of the best places to watch a game of college football is the Joan here in Huntington, and it's not an easy place to play for the opponent. Marshall actually has the highest home winning percentage in the nation, an 829 clip, 155 all-time wins. They defend home turf better than anybody.
Well, they opened this place in 1991, and EKU played here and then came back in 92. Allen in trouble, and down he goes. And Channing Hames going to make the stop there for the Thundering Herd. Allen for the gun. And we'll hand it off, and EKU trying to sweep around the edge on the far side. And there is McCleskey Jr., the guy we talked about before the game. And this time, Allen going to keep it, and he will be wrestled to the ground. Well, he lost the football, and the fight is on. But it will belong to the Colonels. And the stop made there by Channing Hames and Ty Tyler. He's up 3rd and 7. Allen in trouble. Allen will go down. Hames was there. Couch was there. A host of others.
And those are those situations that Marshall loves to get in defensively. Already saw when they had 3rd and long last series. When they have 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, you can always expect it. Adam Fuller, that really set the tone last year. You could really tell from the moment he ran the first one back, it was going to be a different season.
All right, Green going up top, and a sensational grab made once again by Tyree Brady.
There's really nothing else to say about Tyree Brady. Put his hands out there, just hung in the air, both feet in the air off the ground, able to haul it in. I mean, at this point, I don't even think there's adjectives to use to describe that guy. One of the best in the nation. I mean, look at that.
TJ Comstock brought him down, 29-yard gainer there. And here's Green looking. And now Green going to take off with it. And Green will run out of bounds. A very cool presence.
Well, and that's one of the things that Green brings to the table that really changes the dynamic of this offense, especially with first-year offensive coordinator Tim Cramsey a season ago.
And here's the handoff, and it's going to be Davis bolting his way to the 33-yard line, it looks, and that will be a Thundering Herd first down. Ben Bascom makes the stop.
Nice run there for Davis, plowed forward, got the first and then some.
He just slammed off that right side. Alex Millette, Tariq Adams flicking it out. Brady makes the catch. And Brady on the run.
To mix it up a little bit, even said things like, who knows, you might see offensive linemen catching touchdown passes. And so I think Herd fans are kind of excited to see that.
Flick it out this way to Brady, and Brady shows that great strength that he has. Third down 10. And may have a jump again, and here is Green again going up top. Catch is made. Obialo with the touchdown grab.
Obialo really came on strong last year down the stretch of the season. Suffered that wrist injury in camp at the beginning of last year that put him out for 4 games. But he gives Marshall another look out wide with Marcel Williams, with Tyree Brady.
On the extra point, but they have the lead following this TD pass here, Jake.
A beautiful throw right on the money. Back shoulder fade to Obialo. Hauls it in.
And the Herd in the lead here in Huntington. Dakota Allen from the gun. And pass across the middle, and that's going to be picked off. And Austin Scott had come in as the QB, and the ball is tipped. And Brandon Drayton with the interception for Marshall. Meanwhile, Isaiah Green in there for the Thundering Herd. And Marshall, again, we talked about what Coach Cramsey likes to do, that offensive coordinator, and getting Walden into the act.
Getting in on the action here so far today.
Redshirt sophomore. Now the handoff goes to Tyler King in his first turn here in the backfield. 2nd and 7 from the 23-yard line. Flip it around. And it's going to be Willie Johnson. Johnson speed to burn, and Johnson takes it inside the 5-yard line, and a Thundering Herd first down. TJ Comstock keeps him out of the end zone.
Yeah, touchdown saving tackle. But let me tell you what, when Willie Johnson gets into the open space, he has deceptive speed, really turns on the Jets there. And another great story for Marshall.
From the 6, 1:21 to go here in this opening quarter of play at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. Marshall and Eastern Kentucky, along with Jake Griffith, our great crew, and Mark Martin. Isaiah Green looking, fires, and he's got Brady, and Brady lunges out and gets in.
Who else? Tyree Brady, again, coming up big for Marshall. The extension was great, but how about that move? Releasing, just put the defender in a spin cycle here almost. Might not be able to see it there, but comes back to the ball a little bit. Well-placed ball by after. We'll take another look at that last touchdown pass, though. Green read it perfectly, and Brady did a good job shaking the defender. And like you said, it was a hard tackle, but Brady still, he's so long and lanky. And honestly, it's insane to think this Marshall defense is so stacked that there were questions on whether or not how many snaps he would get coming into the season. They moved him from linebacker down to that Fox position. As we both know, Mark, Doc Holliday loves that Fox position.
So Scott fakes the handoff, going up top. Got a man down there. It's going to be picked off. Interception made by the Thundering Herds. Jalen McLean-Sapp. And Marshall, 2 interceptions now here in this first quarter, Jake.
Yeah, Jalen McLean-Sapp read that all the way. I don't think Scott really sold the play-action fake well enough on that fake handoff. Looked his receiver down the entire way, unable to look off the safety. Jackson in coverage. Sapp reads it. It's also an underthrown ball. And Jalen McLean-Sapp, that'll be an INT every day of the week.
And EKU going to go back to Dakota Allen here, it looks like. Starting quarterback, then they brought Austin Scott in. McCleskey in motion, and the handoff here, and it's Scott looking for running room, and he is just swarmed there by that Thundering Herd defense. And Chris Jackson comes up, and Malik Gant there. And Gant, a great story for the Thundering Herd football program.
Yeah, Malik Gant actually led the team in tackles last week with 12. Chase Hancock had 11. Malik Gant, preseason, named to the Jim Thorpe Award watch list. You know, he was excited about that. A very prestigious honor to be named to that watch list if you're Malik Gant. And he's earned every bit of that.
So no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for Eastern Kentucky. Allen has time, and now Allen going to take off with it, and simply nowhere to go for Dakota Allen there, as Eastern Kentucky with a gift right here, needing to capitalize, down 13-0 against Marshall. Here is the pitch, and it's going to be nowhere to go for Alonzo Booth, just upended quickly by Malik Gant.
A strong low tackle by Malik Gant, true to form, had 100 total tackles last year, and that's how you bring a guy down right there.
Guilty party, so now it's 3rd down and 7. Creamer goes in motion. Allen floats it up and nearly picked off there by McLean Sapp, but we do have penalty flags down.
And Allen took a shot there as he released the ball.
Mr. Williams and company will sort it out.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 5. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed to the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
That hurts for Marshall.
Dakota Allen going up.
When they called it against number 5, Kerryon Morrell wasn't even on the field. I believe they meant to say Brandon Drayton, but I don't know about that one. You hear people ask all the time nowadays, how are you supposed to defend a guy if you're a cornerback or a safety?
Here's the handoff, and into the end zone, and tumbling in is L.J. Scott, and Eastern Kentucky is on the board. An unorthodox setup here for the Colonels. And the pass is going to fall incomplete. Alfonso Howard is the 3rd quarterback used for the Colonels. Good turnout on a Saturday evening in Huntington. Marshall students watching the Thundering Herd in action against the visiting Colonels of Eastern Kentucky, along with Jake Griffith and our outstanding crew of Mark Martin. Delighted you could be with us. Gordy Ball is our spotter. And EKU draws closer, Jake Griffith, as they finally get on the board.
Hanging around here with Marshall, and Marshall's come out a little flat a couple possessions, both defensively and offensively.
Little pooch kick, and we got Anthony Anderson as the up back. Anderson had a couple of touchdowns last week for the Thundering Herd. Darian Tips Clemens makes the stop for Eastern Kentucky.
Well, Anderson, part of that trio of running backs. The law firm, Anderson, Davis, and King. That's what's great about college football, college athletics. Anybody can upset anybody on any given day.
Green fires it out, and the catch will be made, and there is Xavier Gaines hauling in his 2nd catch of the season.
They need to figure out a way to bring that fire and intensity back, get themselves jump-started, because they're flat.
It was a 3-yard pickup there, and now the pass gunned across there, and good defensive play there by the Thundering Herd.
And Chase Hancock there in coverage. The pride of Beckley, West Virginia, Chase Hancock. He was a preferred walk-on here for Doc Holliday, came in, led the team in tackles last year with 128.
Meanwhile, they have tacked on a touchdown by L.J. Scott. They went for 2, so that's where we stand. Here's Green, and Green guns it, and the catch will be made. And it was Brady.
Talk about a guy that's hard to tackle. It takes 3 defenders to bring him down. Floyd in on it there. Great look, great throw there from Isaiah Green. But if you're Marshall, you have to look at it. You're currently outgaining Eastern Kentucky by 100 yards, 140-40, and you're only up by 7 points. That has to be frustrating. And for Eastern Kentucky, they have to be thanking their stars that they're even in this one right now.
Pretty wide to the bottom of the screen, and here's Green, and Gaines now with his 2nd catch of the game. And that will be a first down. So Gaines gains the first down. Leotis Moore.
Smart play by Isaiah Green.
Good pressure brought by the Colonels. So it's a 2nd and 10 for the Thundering Herd. Green, guns on the near side. Brady makes the catch, and then lassoing him down will be Cornelius Floyd. And if you are the coaching staff of Eastern Kentucky and you're talking to Floyd and some of these guys, you're saying number 8 is one of your assignments this week.
And if you're a cornerback, you're probably not sleeping too much at night once you learn Tyree Brady is your assignment.
Well, as we figured, the play stands. And now McCleskey will get the call here for the Colonels, and Malik Gant will make the stop for Marshall.
Both offenses have looked a little sluggish here in this one. It's trending more toward an old school defensive slugfest.
We talked earlier about he's got those jets. He's got the burst. Love to get him free here, and back to pass, and that one was flicked in. It's going to be picked up by Marshall. Hernandez, 25, inside the 15, and Frankie Hernandez will take it to the 4-yard line. Well, back to pass with Scott. It got tipped, and Hernandez hauls it in and takes it inside the 5 for Marshall.
Well, hey, sometimes the best offense is a good defense, and that's the case right now for Marshall. Got a player down, it looks like.
And both teams wearing
the "We Are Marshall" chant. We'll take another look at that INT. You were right, Mark. It was tipped.
And Malik Thompson.
Frankie Hernandez just camped underneath it like a punt almost.
And Thompson's another wonderful story, and got that start last week against Miami. Just a kid that's hung around, worked hard. Stories for both teams just like that. Williams in motion for the Herd. Now comes back, and the handoff goes to King straight up the middle into the end zone.
Well, we saw Tyler King a couple series ago slap the ground out of frustration. He couldn't break one and get free. Gets free there, finds the hole, scampers untouched into the end zone, and that's what Marshall needed. That might serve to be their cup of coffee, so to speak, to wake them up.
Untouched until he was in the end zone.
We'll get one more look at it there. King, you could drive a Mack truck through that hole.
And you managed to put it into the end zone. So back to work now. Dakota Allen is back in at QB, and Malik Gant was there waiting on McCleskey Jr.
Just stood him up there at the line of scrimmage. Malik Gant, I'll tell you what, he is not one to shy away from contact. He will come up, cheat up, and lay the wood. And he's got a great coach, too. Byron Thweet. Marshall got him from James Madison.
Allen in trouble, and they just about got away, but a good job there defensively by Ty Tyler. He got just enough of that jersey to slow him down, and Allen got away, but he stumbled and fell and goes to the ground.
Ty Tyler didn't see a whole lot of snaps last year, just 25 tackles on the year, 4 for loss, but they put him at the defensive end spot, and he is just such a dynamic player. You look at how quickly he got around that all. Got to finish strong.
Allen gets the snap. Allen will keep, and Allen is going to fight hard here, see if he is going to get the first down. Jaquan Yulee, Mike linebacker, making the stop for the Herd. And he's going to be about a yard shy. So it is 4th and 1 with Yulee. All right, so they're going to bring in Samuel Hayworth here, and he will attempt 48-yard field goal. 2 for 2 last week, 1 of 38. Well, looked like the ball was there, but there was no attempt to kick it. And the holder.
Coming from some tiny town up in mid-Ohio, it's coming to Huntington is kind of a culture shock. My high school had I graduated with 72 kids, so real small town out in the country, but you know, coming to Huntington, it just it was definitely felt like a second home. So you know, I never had doubt once I got here on campus that this is where I was supposed to be.
Play fake, wants to throw on first down, under pressure, and he is going to be crunched. He is sacked by Ryan B. for a loss of 7 back at the 13. Marquise Couch was also back there harassing the quarterback.
You know, in high school, I was a punter, I was tight end, I was slot receiver, wide receiver, and then defensive end. So it was a lot, you know. Never coming off the field. It was, you know, I had to be in shape. But after in high school, I did a bunch of football camps and stuff. You know, I'd tried for the tight end position, and a lot of the schools, you know. I think WVU was one, Toledo, a bunch of the MAC schools. They wanted to turn me into an offensive tackle, and I didn't really like that. You know, I'd never played offensive tackle to begin with, and then I just didn't want to be an offensive lineman. But I was more of I'd always wanted to play defense. You know, I played defensive end position since I started. So, you know, Marshall was one of the fewer schools that was looking at me for defense. So, no, I never expected to play a slot receiver in college.
He's in the gun with 2 receivers each way. 2 down linemen for Marshall and 2 standing defensive ends. The shotgun snap, quarterback looks downfield, nobody open, takes off to run, and he gets nowhere because Ryan B. takes him down. Kent State had not allowed a sack all year long, and if B gets credit for one there, that's Marshall's 4th of the night.
Came on an unofficial visit in the summer of my junior year, right after they had offered me. And you know, that was Coach Lake. He had kind of showed me around. I met some of the guys, and, you know, like I said, after I came down here and met the people, I came down to a game, saw, you know, the fans. Is just, I never had a doubt. You know, I mean, I think about it. That's my dream. It's my goal to be able to play after college. But you know, I don't get too wrapped up in it now, just because if I don't have a good senior year, there's no point in thinking about it. So you know, I think about it here and there, but I mean, I still stay locked in here and just make sure I have a good senior season to hopefully put me in a position to be able to play on.
And they are going to go with Alfonso Howard here, it looks, to start this second half of play. So we've seen 3 quarterbacks in this game. Howard got in for a few plays there in that first half.
And not traditional fumbles either, they just deflected off players. And now EKU in prime opportunity here. If you're an away team player, there's nothing better than going on the road and silencing the home fans, and EKU's done that successfully so far.
Yeah, Hayworth skied it again, but here's Anthony Anderson. Well, they covered it pretty well, and then Anderson does a nice job of getting away and takes it out. I'm going to take that back. Kings was on the other end, and Marshall goes to the air. And making the grab there is Levias for the Herd. Got a lot of guys you're going to try to utilize at that position. Here is Green, guns it out, and the catch is made. Nice little quick slant pattern there to Artie Henry.
Another good look at it here. Artie Henry, just another talented receiver. Got to be kicking himself there. Have to haul that in. And again, hard count.
You're going to get a free play here. Going to fire it up, and Obialo makes the grab. Touchdown, Marshall.
I think Obialo likes being thrown the ball after flags get thrown. That's the 2nd touchdown on a free play to Obialo. And a strong way to respond for the Thundering Herd following that EKU score.
Well, they were close on the play before, and
the result of the play is the touchdown. Offside for the defense, number 55, that throws decline. Will now attempt to try.
And again, Isaiah Green using the hard count to draw the defense offside, knows it's the free play, the awareness, takes a stab downfield.
In this game.
Well, Howard, much like what Green does for the Marshall offense, Howard able to move with his legs. We saw in the last play, adds a different wrinkle to this Eastern Kentucky attack.
And here he is again in open field, and he's across midfield and will finally be brought down. And the ball comes loose, and Marshall has it. Artice Johnson has the loose ball. Well, he kept fighting for extra yardage. I don't think there was ever a whistle.
Not that I knew of.
Good effort, but
I don't think his forward progress ever stopped. Got out of pass the midfield line.
Wrapped up there by Drayton, and he wasn't going to go down. Drayton needed help, and
I think Couch was in on that one too, and eventually that ball just came rolling out.
Yeah, that's the old strip drill there. You work on that
really on the
every day in
field.
practice.
There was a fumble.
On Mark Elder and this offense going for, as of late, at least a totally new look. New quarterback. Booth seen more snaps. Scott comes back in, though.
Howard, quick drop, guns it out. Malik Gant there on coverage of Dan Paul. Howard gets the snap, the handoff. No, it keeps it. Howard trying to turn the corner, and it's read beautifully out there by Jalen McLean Sapp.
Great read by McLean Sapp. Coming up big, forcing the 3 and out. And just totally spun the quarterback around. Went low.
Marshall takes over here, 1st and 10 from its own 25. Isaiah Green has gone the distance for the herd. Now he's going to flick it here to Williams, and Williams finds running room as flags come flying. Marcel Williams takes it to the 31-yard line. Move on to the next play. 5-yard gain on that one, and now Johnson gets the handoff on the end around. Speed to burn with this guy, and good tackle there on the far side of the field as Johnson gets the first down, and Darian Tips Clemens makes the tackle, loses a shoe in the process. And you can just see what Johnson's all about right there.
Tips Clemens are churning, and it's hard to bring a guy down like that.
Howard this time will lose a yard.
Of course, right as I say that, Malik Gant comes right in and swings him to the ground, but
just like they have done so here in Huntington. And this time Howard turns and gives way to, again, one of his running backs. From the 49. Howard back in trouble. Down he goes. Well, that closed in a hurry. Channing Hames, the New Mexico Bowl defensive MVP, makes the stop.
And Doc Holliday and the rest of his coaching staff really love the step in maturity and the progress that Channing Hames has made. As you mentioned, Mark, we get another look at it here. As you mentioned, though, defensive MVP of the game.
Playing in a college football game. Snaps it to Green. And the youngster sets up, looks, and fires, and the catch is made by Obialo. And he was, make that Davis, and he was well covered.
Keon Davis gets taken down by Floyd at the end of the play. We'll see it again. This was pretty. Green sees the pocket collapsing, scrambles out to his right on the bootleg, and Keon Davis just climbs the ladder and takes it away. Not known as really a pass-catching back as Keon Davis. Went out there on that wheel route.
And there's Flick here. And really just a nice catch and run there. Levias showing a little bit about what he brings to the table, Jake, with that catch and run.
Well, that's how you buy yourself some more playing time in the next game right there. Armani Levias took just a simple little flick here from Isaiah Green there in the slot and just kept moving forward. Get off me. Sit down. Kept powering forward.
And Tyler King dashed in. from short yardage. Both touchdowns by EKU. Free play here for Green. And Green floating it up, and Green looking for Xavier Gaines. And wow, keeping those hands on that football, concentrating totally, and hauling it in for a big first down catch.
Literally went up and grabbed it over the man. I believe around these parts, that's what you call getting mossed.
What an effort there, high in the air. All right, so it's going to be a 35-yard field goal attempt by Rohrwasser, and White puts it down, and the kick is up. And Rohrwasser has his first field goal with the Thundering Herd football program, and that stretches the lead for Marshall to 30-13. But last time, Jake Griffith, that gentleman kicked a field goal, he was with Rhode Island.
Yeah, playing in in front of a much smaller crowd. Justin Rohrwasser, 15 of 20 on field goals for University of Rhode Island, 39 of 40 on point after touchdowns.
He kicks this one right to the goal line, and who else but Scott? And Scott, ball is loose. Scott had the good return, but at the end it pops out, and Marshall has the football, and who else?
It's Justin Rohrwasser. How about that? Kicks his first career field goal in a Thundering Herd uniform, then goes out there and recovers the fumble. That's the most for the brand thing I've seen this season. Somebody get Pat McAfee on the phone. I'm sure he's sitting at home loving that.
Certainly this would be a great way to end it. Check out Brown there. And then Hancock helped on the calls, and then it flew loose. Brown fought off those blockers, though.
These home fans from Marshall excited to welcome North Carolina State, and NC State needs to watch out. Obviously, they're not Purdue, but they don't want to suffer the Purdue trap.
All right, so now they have made a quarterback switch, and back in the game as Ty Tyler takes him down. Dakota Allen is back in the game. Work hard and build on it every day. Allen awaits the snap. 3rd and 10 from the 6-yard line. In trouble. Down he goes, and that's going to be a safety as Malik Thompson takes him down in the end zone, and that will double up the Colonels at 32-16.
Well, does somebody have wacky football bingo done yet? Because we've had missed field goals, blocked punts, special teams turnovers, interceptions, and now a safety. So, what a weird game it's been.
Dating back to when it all got going, that was Frank Beamer.
Beamer ball, gotta love it.
Beamer ball came to Huntington here during Doc's era.
Had a chance to actually, when I was younger with my father, had a chance to actually go to Blacksburg. Met Coach Beamer very briefly.
Keon Davis hauls in the free kick, and here comes Keon Davis. There's no doubt that Keon Davis knows what to do on special teams when the ball is in his hands.
Took him around in the spin cycle back there. Ran around in circles before he finally shook him off.
Josh Hayes finally brought him down. Hayes, a young man who is a neat story about Hayes. Comes to EKU and intercepts a pass.
Yeah.
And an interception against Moorhead.
And according to EKU sports information staff, that's the first time that's ever happened, which I would say, yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah,
it's not every day that.
And speaking of sports information, many thanks to Kevin Britton at EKU for his great work, and certainly Jason Poirier here at Marshall for their help in our preparation for this telecast, and certainly the coaching staffs. Leo Desmore makes the stop there on Johnson. First and 10 from the 31. Bouncing it out, Tyler King. King finally sent to the turf. And tell you what, he's just a bolt of lightning out of that backfield.
He really is. I like it, though. It's bold. No gloves for a running back. It's not often you see a running back these days go with the old school barehanded approach.
Get a touchdown, make it 13-6. It was 20-6 at the break. And here is Green out to Keon Davis. And Davis going to be slowed down there by Moore once again. But Marshall never trailed in this game. But EKU definitely came in here with a lot of grit and determination.
I think if you're Eastern Kentucky, you find out more positives about your team than Marshall finds out about theirs after this one. Watch out Ball State, or excuse me, watch out Bowling Green, because EKU is going to give them a fight. Marshall, as they head on the road next week to South Carolina, a few things they got to get buttoned up if they hope to knock off the Gamecocks.
Jake, it's been a pleasure being with you, my friend. Great job.
And thanks you as well, Mark. It's been a real pleasure getting to call one of the best things in America, college football.
No doubt. Doc Holliday, Mark Elder, they meet at midfield as Marshall moves its season record to 2-0 and now heading to SEC country to meet up with South Carolina. And meanwhile, it will be Eastern Kentucky playing Bowling Green. So Isaiah Green, TD passes. Jake, and that got it going.
Yeah, Isaiah Green, 3 touchdown passes, 278 yards passing. Does better than his total last week at Miami of Ohio. And it's Marshall. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't easy, but the Thundering Herd pull out the victory.